Right-e-o. It is the Friday. It is the evening. Which means it is time for some trains. Welcome back to Friday Evening Trains, everyone. It is a kind of gray and chilly day here in Southwest Michigan. But, yeah. Not too much to, excuse me. Not too much to say. Let's see. Big news. The March Madness event is on, which is pretty cool. Other than that, I don't think any big releases lately. So, and no real big announcements. So, I guess we might as well hop right into it. So we are going to start today on the Woodhead line, playing choppers and autos. Spring in the Midlands has arrived, and with it, some rain. You have just climbed aboard an auto train running from Bootle Docks to Doncaster via Manchester London Road Station for the run across the Pennines to Wath, where you'll be held for other traffic. You have a pair of recently built Class 20s for power today. The Woodhead line is plenty busy, though, so stay on your toes. Playing a nice game of Loading Screen Simulator. March 28th. Wow. Runs for another 10 days. Ooh, that's a nice one. I like that. This is also a nice one. London Road Signaler. Good morning, driver. There's quite a bit of traffic coming in and out of the station, but I'll try and slip you across in a few minutes. Turn my game down just a bit. There we go. Frames are a bit crunchy. So this is Manchester London Road Station. Currently, Manchester Piccadilly. This is the line towards Liverpool via Warrington. Kettle? Hopefully the frames ease up here in a minute. Not sure what these platforms are. They're not, oh, they're Mayfield. But I'm not sure. I guess I'm not sure really what purpose they serve. So we're driving a pair of BR Green Class 20s, also known as choppers. One of the more ubiquitous, I think is the word, early BR diesel locomotives. Which I believe were originally built, the first batch were originally built as part of the modernization plan of 1955. Along with our friend, the Class 37 over here. So we have to wait for this train to depart. should have occlusion. It does not. Oh well. Wasn't sure if this route was new enough to have it. So this is the original Woodhead Line route, not the BR Blue one. So this is Manchester London Road. This is the main line over the Pennines here. This is the branch to Glossop, which is not modeled on this route. It is modeled on the Woodhead and BR Blue route, being the main difference. This is Penistone. This is the line to Sheffield Victoria. Actually, everything past, I believe it's Hadfield up here. Yep. So everything past Hadfield here, in this era, has both freight and passenger, but in the BR Blue route, passenger service has been cut back to Hadfield. So Sheffield Victoria is no longer used as a station, so this whole part of the route is freight only. And then this is the route down to Wath. This is the Wath Marshalling Yard. And yeah, we have the signal. I believe I have. I do. Rail map online open. Give an idea of where we are. Well, not where we are, but where some of the diverging lines continue off towards. Brake van doesn't have a passenger view. Junction. I think that's the line. Goes towards like Oldham, Rockdale. Goes a lot of places. Sheesh. Now passing Ardwick Station. The main line continues to the right there through Stockport towards Birmingham and London. I'll take that under advisement, Twix. We're passing through, I guess not quite downtown Manchester, but certainly close to it. Close to the heart of Manchester. Lots of sidings and junctions and stations. Seems to be a slightly more industrial quarter of the city. No, it's a hardcore adult. It's a hardcore adult content game, Twix. No, 20XX is just how people refer to the game, since the name changes every year to reflect the current year. So this year it's 2022. Next year it'll be 2023. All about getting railed. That's right. Getting railed while running a train. You have to be very good at multitasking. Double yellow, which means we need to stop in 2 signals, or at least be prepared for a red in 2 signals. I just said it means we have to be prepared for a red signal in 2 signal blocks. So this next signal will be a single yellow, and then the signal after that would be a red. So we are climbing up a moderate 1 in 100 grade, so we're just going to let gravity bring the speed down until we get a... nope, not a triple yellow. Until we get a read on the next signal, which appears to be green. So whatever we're following, we're obviously not following it too closely. Is triple before double? There is no triple. No, it doesn't exist. It's green, double yellow, signal yellow, red. Unless you're in 3 aspect territory, in which it's just green, yellow, red. Well, it would if there was such a thing as a triple green. Sure, why not? Another double yellow. Go ahead and kill the power. Red has flattened out somewhat, but... You do that, Twix. You do that. By all means. Speaking of becoming the head of things, how goes the job hunt? Oh, was it double yellow? Just hopped up to a green. Good, because we don't want Train Simulator Brendan XXX. Hey! Good for you, buddy. Glad you finally found something. Speed limit is dropping to 30 up ahead. No, I don't want Brendan XXX because I don't need to see that. So where is the job? What are you gonna be doing? Yes, there you go. I'm sure that will work incredibly well. Nice. I wish I'd known that. I would have applied for my mortgage through Comerica. High net worth individuals. Psst, you don't know me. Home signal is green, so the next signal is green. But in the possible future, perhaps. Now on a 1 in 77. Which is getting in the pretty gnarly territory of the AG Sig gradient scale. We're back down to 1 in 100, which of course rates as a not too shabby on the aforementioned grading scale. Oh, 1 in 86, that is pretty gnarly. See the line verging off to the right. That would make sense. Heads towards ultimately Hayfield, with a bunch of diverging lines leaving it. So. Another double yellow. Does that need them on high? Oh yeah. Okay. And the signal blocks are a little close, so I'm going to use just a little bit of braking. Just to bring the speed down a bit. See where we're at when we get there. Loaded coal train, of course, what the Woodhead line is probably most famous for hauling. There are many collieries here in the Pennines. And, of course, all that has to get to market, so. Passing a single yellow now, so we need to be on the swivel for a red at the next signal. Else we should spad. Scenery is starting to get a bit more rural now that we're working our way out of the greater Manchester area. Signal is coming up. And it appears to be green. Yep, that is a green signal. Our next waypoint is Bebot Yard, which is just funny. And it reminds me of another funny thing. I found out that there, I believe it was, I think it was one of the Hawthorne A1s. Steam locomotive class. One of them was named Gay Crusader, which is fantastic, and I love it. And it is now one of my favorite locomotives ever, having just learned of its existence a couple days ago on Reddit, so. Beautiful names. I think it's safe to say we are officially out of the urban confines of Manchester now. Broad Bottom. That's what Bebot is. Broad Bottom sounds like your stereotypically English insult. Oi, mate, you got a broad bottom. Thank you, and I will never do that again. On the right is Mottram Yard, which was a large coal trains would be dispatched to Mottram from Wath, where they would then be broken down for into shorter trains for delivery to the various power plants in the Manchester area. And I think Liverpool. Now climbing a 1 in 112, which is what's the phrase? Crimping our style in the sense of our ability to accelerate. Nice big bridge here. Always like a nice big bridge. This is Dinting Station. The branch to Glossop is diverging to the right. Boom. Yes. Yes, Twix. A big body bridge. Climbing up another 1 in 100. Now passing Hadfield Station, not to be confused with Hatfield, which is on the East Coast Main Line outside of London. I don't know. That is a good question. I guess it also depends on how broad the bottom it's meant to hold is. Yellow signal. We are being routed into the goods line up here at Vale House. Oop. Trying to gain back a little bit of speed. Speed limit is back up to 40. No, tit muzzle. That's. To our left is a system of reservoirs. So I believe down there, that is the Bottoms Reservoir. Up here is the Vale House Reservoir. I believe. Trying to get an idea of it off of this map website. Oh no, this is Bottoms. So this would be Vale House. This one here. Oops, which means this one is Rhodeswood. So down below us to the left is the Rhodeswood Reservoir. Now passing the Torside Reservoir. Torside is one of the bigger reservoirs in this system. Seem to have memories of slogging a 37 up this hill. That would make sense. This hill is a bit of a slog. And this route comes with a 37. Oh dear. Yeah, I didn't know this route had waves on the reservoirs. That's cool. Didn't think they added those until the Riviera line, or West Palm Beach. I can't remember which one. Or not West Palm Beach. Pacific Surfliner. Whichever one of those. Came out first. crowded station, and we are now passing the Woodhead Reservoir. Should have been paying attention. There. So that signals a yellow, which means we are not yet clear into the tunnels. Always like a good unmarked 15-mile-an-hour speed limit, and it just jumped to green. The old Woodhead tunnels are at left, and the new Woodhead tunnel is straight ahead, and the one we are going to be passing through. We are also going to reach the summit here in this tunnel, and we'll be downhill all the rest of the way to this road's old enough that this tunnel isn't properly occluded, so it's a tad bright. For what it would be in real life. 50? Exactly. I meant more that the cab was a little bit bright for what it would be in real life. But yes, I'm sure this tunnel is spotless on the walls. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not aware of this route having had any kind of patch for that. It is kind of obnoxious when it features a very long tunnel. It's kind of the apex of the route. Oh well. Yeah, the white foggy distance. Although that I think might be a little more accurate, but I can't say for sure. Speed limit is dropping to 40 when we exit the tunnel, and we have reached the summit. We're running on an essentially flat grade, and we are going to start descending as we exit the tunnel through Dunford Bridge. Fortunately, the weather doesn't seem to have gotten any better while we were in the tunnel. Hey, Jessica. I hate this. It must be something with OBS, because I never have this problem otherwise. But I don't know why it just stops rendering rain. Because it's still raining on the windshield. I've had this happen a few times now. Whoops. That's why you should pay attention. Yeah, it does. It is what it is. We're now passing through Pennistone. The line from, I believe, Huddersfield is coming in from the left. I was thinking that, but I wasn't gonna say it. The line towards Sheffield Victoria is heading off to the right. We are heading towards Waff. Follow the Northeast American routes available to Hudson Line and the North Jersey coast line will be easy to pack the Hudson Line to the more central ranges of the PRR and CNJ plus the PRR. Wasn't North Jersey coast, Pennsylvania rating seashore lines? Am I No. Never mind. Pennsylvania Reading Seashore Lines, I think, was actually South Jersey, closer to Philadelphia. So, okay. Ignore me then. Yeah. It would be actually it would be pretty cool to see a backdated Hudson Line. Very natural breakpoint for multiple parters, depending on how far the Hudson Line goes. The Hudson Line route goes. I don't remember off the top of my head. But use electrics out of Grand Central and then swap to Ease at Croton Harmon. Unless, how far does the line go? I don't have the Hudson Line. Not Judson. Hudson Line. To peruse the sale. Oh no, the Hudson Line goes from New York to Croton Harmon. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of industrial trackage, like, right around New York that would have to be remodeled. I did see that the Harlem Line is coming to TSW. That is interesting. I don't have strong feelings about that one way or the other, but... are we? 10.8 miles. Not too far. We're on a 1 in 40. Which is pretty good. Pretty good. .5%. Wow. That's steep even by American standards. So, what you're thinking of, Code Monkey, is that in the Pacific Railway Act of 1862, it was stated that the Transcontinental Railroad had to basically be built to the standards of the B&O, so it couldn't have curves tighter or grades steeper than anything on the Baltimore and Ohio. So basically that's where the so it's not a firm thing. There are lines in the US that do have steeper grades. Saluda, for example, was over 4%. Most of the Rio Grande's Tennessee Pass line, I think, is right around 3%. But anything on the Transcontinental Railroad, yeah, exactly. Anything that was built as part of the Transcontinental Railroad had to be limited to 2.2%. But that's not like a firm limit for any rail construction in the U.S. It was made for Central, it did from GCT to Chatham, New York, with the NYC Harlem Division ended with the subsidiary Boston and Albany. Chatham. Is that up by Albany then? That'd be one hell of a route. Yeah, we're speeding. Hey, the speed limit's dropping to 30. What's up, Pork Belly? Thanks for the heads up there, Code Monkey. Yeah, I know, it's... The lack of AWS is definitely super weird. I think it doesn't help that... not much, Pork Belly, just, enjoying a Friday. I think it doesn't help that Riviera in the 50s has whatever I can't remember what the name of the system is, but the GWR equivalent of AWS, which essentially functions as an AWS because AWS bells will trigger if you drive over them. So, this is, I don't think Port Road, Western Lands of Scotland has AWS either. Which also bothers me quite a bit. But yeah, the fact that there's no AWS on here is quite odd. Red has flattened out quite a bit. Yes. It's just moderately concerning to be approaching a signal and not having any kind of feedback. Fair enough. Yeah, that's been one of the complaints for years, Jessica, is DTG sounds. But some of them are definitely worse than others. The horn on the P-42s has always bothered me. The horns on just about any North American locomotive developed by DTG has always bothered me. It's part of the reason I love DTM so much. DTM's horns are always so good. No, I would agree. Sound like it would be. Yeah, that was one of the things I noticed too about the 700. Which reminds me, there is a sale on. I wonder, it's probably not discounted heavily because it's still pretty new. And based on the reviews, oh, it's not discounted at all. Forget that. I'm paying 20 US for that. Especially based on the reviews. Looks like the Shasta line has been getting some good reviews, so. Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point, Jessica. It's like, you know, a lot of these, or, you know, most every modern North American locomotive I have, you know, witnessed in real life. And so I know what they sound like. And they don't sound like that. Yeah, especially um especially in like modern coaches, which have much better sound insulation um than um older ones. And even in older ones, you shouldn't be able to hear that much. Yes, Twix, that is exactly what they do, and that's why this discussion is so heated. I mean, you should still be able to hear some horn in the coaches, because, I mean, it's the horn, it's loud, but yeah, it definitely shouldn't sound like you're in the cab. I remember when I used to take the train between Chicago and Kalamazoo. When I used to take the train between Chicago and Kalamazoo, I could hear the horn in the coaches very faintly. But wonder if you can still hear it with the Chargers, because the Chargers' horns don't seem to be as loud as the P-42s. But yeah, at least on P-42 hauled trains, depending on, of course, on the length of the train, but you can at least kind of hear the horn in the coaches. But yeah, you definitely shouldn't be able to hear like engine noises. The other thing is that and crossing bells. And this isn't exclusive to DTG routes, because all routes have this issue for some reason. Like, even the ones on Stevens Pass aren't, like, super great. Or the ones on the Hanover subdivision. The Mountain subdivision will give a pass because that one's set in the 70s, and that one sounds decently accurate for the 70s, but I don't understand how difficult it would be to get accurate crossing bell sounds for North American routes. It should be one of the easiest sounds to get out there and record. And I mean, from what I can tell, the obnoxious screeching that UK crossings make seems to be fairly accurate. So. Watts signal box. Hello, driver. I'll be holding you on the Upgoods line outside of Watts Station. The traffic should clear up soon. To be fair, Jessica, a lot more of the recent American routes have been coming with scenarios that you start off with 1,000 points and then you lose points based on speeding and train handling, wheel slip, that kind of thing. So they've definitely gotten better about that, but yeah, you're right. Especially in the early days of the sim, it was not good. At least UK freight trains do run to a timetable. But I don't know how accurately that timetable is always followed. First experience on Southampton to Bournemouth was referenced. The train glides in silently, then it beating dies. Several bongs louder than the horn announced the happening of the dies. I will say, from a gameplay perspective, I am okay with the idea of even the heaviest trains being able to maintain line speed on a mountain grade, because routes like Donner Pass are already kind of boring enough. Doing it at 25, I cannot imagine trying to slog it up at 4 or 5 over that route. But that's just me, though. And I mean, there's definitely people who want, you know, that extremely realistic experience of having to slog it out on a grade, you know, barely above stall speed. But I am not one of them. I will freely admit that. See, the problem with the stall, though, is either you then have to know how to work your way out of it, or you just have to accept that the scenario is a loss, and you've kind of just wasted the last, you know, however long. So, I think it should, I mean, there's some people, again, who would want that, but I think it should be an option you can toggle in the settings. But, I mean, outside of that, I'm not opposed to the idea. So to the right is Wath Marshalling Yard. Well, yeah, losing time and just having to deal with it in general. That sounds familiar. Code Monkey? I don't remember. I don't remember if the class 90 has random faults. I do have the class 90. At least the version that was released on Steam. Yeah. I think that's kind of, sort of the idea behind TSW. Maybe not to that kind of granular level, but, like, I don't know if you can stall a train in TSW. I mean, you could if you made a long enough train, but I mean, like, in any of the default scenarios, or, in the timetable mode, I don't know that you could, or service mode, whatever that's called. I don't know that you could stall a train, but I can see that definitely being in the idea in TSW. Because with, like, Sherman Hill, they were able to implement, you know, realistic length trains. Which is pretty cool. Ooh, interesting. And again, there's people that like that. I think the problem with train simulators is that you have to remember fundamentally that they're a game. And some people, you know, who aren't huge railway enthusiasts aren't gonna want, you know, aren't gonna want necessarily exact realism. You know, they want to drive a train to, you know, relax, you know, after a day at work. They don't necessarily want it to feel like they're hauling, you know, a 15,000-ton coal train up Donner Pass. They just want to, you know, be able to bump up the throttle and let her ride. So, and I mean, I'm not saying that's the wrong way to play the game. I'm not even saying there's a right way to play the game. But good work, driver. Let's grab a couple while we wait. That's why you have trains. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, no, I'm never gonna, you know, it's fundamentally a game. People are welcome to play it how they want, and that can include extreme amounts of realism, and then can include very little amount of realism, you know. It's kind of the, you know, I guess kind of think of it like an open world game like GTA. Like, I mean, outside of the story, you can fundamentally play that game however you want. You could be a calm, law-abiding citizen, you know, if that's your thing. Or you can, you know, commit atrocities. You know, it's basically up to you. But, yeah. So, I guess the roundabout way, this is a roundabout way of saying that, I am all for options, to make the game more realistic. I'm just saying, that they shouldn't necessarily, yeah, exactly, Jessica, it shouldn't be hard-coded in, either way. You should be able to, you know, turn it on or turn it off as you see fit. So that was Choppers and Autos, for Woodhead. I am going to, hop over and we're going to do another one. Yeah. Ow, internet. Okay, there we go. Couldn't click the freaking mute button. All right. Yeah. So, racetrack. Again. I wouldn't mind slugging the Venus as he turned the two working units and disabled one and trying to keep from slowing on Mariah's pass, but that should be my option to have the locomotives have random bits from an engine failure. Actually, that reminds me, Donner Pass, came with, after the update, came with, 3 options for each locomotive. So you could have the regular version, no driver version, and what was called a dodgy version. Wherein I believe there is a random chance that they can crap out on you during the scenario. Which is kind of cool. That's down fundamentally to a game thing, Jessica, because all you need is for your track to be, your actual track in the editor to be designated as electric. The overhead line equipment and third rail are purely cosmetic in this case, which is why you can run overhead electric trains in third rail territory and vice versa. The game is only checking for electrification. It's not checking for the type of electrification. Yes, that does bother me, that you can't have pantographs down while you're dead in tow, and that's a perfect transition for the scenario, because we are doing City Sprinter delivery for the racetrack route. The description's kind of goofed up, but basically we're taking the California Zephyr into Chicago from, I think, Aurora Junction. And we have a couple of City Sprinters, ACS 64s, in tow from the factory in Sacramento for furthering on to New York for use on the Northeast Corridor. No, you really couldn't have, Jessica. That was amazing. And the game crashed. That's kind of my fault. I should have expected that. After it so thoroughly was visibly unhappy in Manchester at the start of the last scenario. I should have had an idea that then trying to load the racetrack on top of it would have led to bad things. Ah, well. Live and learn. Apparently the Tohoku high-speed route is out. I'm just curious. I don't know. It's kind of an ugly Shinkansen, I'm not gonna lie. Mess. Impressive 175 kilometers between Sendai and Morioka. That's kind of like passenger mode. Wow, 320 kilometer an hour. That's pretty good. I said main menu. I don't know. I just feel like that's a feature that could be more easily implemented in TSW, where you already have the ability to walk around the train. But I don't know. I feel like you're setting yourself up for some real bad uncanny valley there. Although I can't remember offhand how well the passenger sprites in TSW look. So actually take a look at Tohoku. Oops. Ah. Yeah, anyway. Beta says Chicago Sub Dispatch. Amtrak Train 6, this is Dispatch. I have MCNI GAL holding for ZCHC PTL to run around. Once he is clear onto the Aurora sub, you'll have permission to proceed east. I've got a clear run for you into Chicago. Oh yeah, and we are driving the Amtrak Dash 8. I don't think you're allowed to, commit an atrocity, Jessica. You can kick him off at the next station, but I don't think you can, kick him off a moving train. Stupid pantographs. So, yeah, we have a P-42, a Dash 8, a P-42, and then two ACS-64s. And then the Southwest Chief. What did I say that was? CHC PTL. That's it? That is not nearly long enough to be a CHC PTL. Bruh. What are you doing? What are you doing? The game mechanics, they are on and will provide power. Oh, yes. Even though, no, they won't, because this isn't electrified. You can. I did. It doesn't lower the pantographs. I don't know why. And that's not even, exclusive to... That's just a game mechanic thing. Doesn't matter if it's a UK, American, or German electric locomotive. That bell is altogether way too loud. What the fuck? Do. Truly, the world can be united in disgust at the fact that this is a problem. Yeah, the problem with the Tohoku high-speed line is the fact that it has the accent over the O, which, having an American keyboard, I can't make. which makes searching it kind of impossible. So I'm curious because I've seen videos of the E5s, and normally they're paired, I believe, with E6s. But maybe not on this line. We are traveling over downtown Aurora. Will do, Twix. Down there is the Aurora Transportation Center, the terminus currently of the BNSF division, or BNSF line of Metro. Although there have been talks of extending Metro service out to the town of Oswego on the Mendota subdivision, as well as, I think I've seen something about Sugar Grove, which is on the Aurora subdivision. Just past Hill Yard, which is the stabling yard for Metro trains in Aurora. I want some number board lights. Can I have number board lights? Step light. Instrument lights. Yes, and the junction to the West Chicago branch. You are correct, Jessica. Can I not have? That's lame. Anybody need the bathroom? I don't think so. Sometimes it does run at night. I had friends in high school who lived along the branch, and they reported that it sometimes passed by at night, but I think it mostly runs in the day. It usually comes back down from West Chicago in the late afternoon. So, depending on the time of year, it could be in darkness. Owing to that wonderful tradition known as daylight savings time. But I mean, that could just be the TS scenario. I don't know that it's necessarily made to reflect accurate operations, but as long as I lived here, there was always a chance of catching it during the day. Yes, this, we are passing by Eola Yard. And up here are the, the connections to the CN, or the Canadian National Lythton subdivision. And we are passing under Eola Road, on that bridge. We're now passing under the Canadian National Lythton subdivision, the former Elgin, Joliet, and Eastern Line, that loops Chicago between northwest Indiana and the city of Waukegan, which CN acquired in 2009 to provide a nice beltway around Chicago to avoid having to route its trains through downtown, which is awesome. BNSF and Union Pacific both use the Lythton subdivision to get intermodal trains from their yards in Joliet onto their main lines. BNSF using it for trains out of Logistics Park, Chicago, that use the Aurora subdivision to get to the west coast at Portland and Seattle. Union Pacific trains use it out of Global 4 in Joliet to access the Geneva subdivision, which is part of the overland route that goes from Chicago to the west coast in Oakland and Portland. Those get off the Lythton subdivision at West Chicago. And while we're on the topic of the Elgin, Joliet, and Eastern, I'm going to use this opportunity to nitpick the YouTube channel at the Rail Yard, most famous for doing content reviews for routes for various train simulators. In his LaSalle, Rockford, and Southern video, he refers to it as the Elgin, Joliet, and Eastern. It is not a hard G, it is a soft G. Well, your friend Nick needs to learn how to pronounce Elgin correctly, Jessica. That is all. I don't think CP would really have any use for it, Jessica, any more than they would theoretically currently, with the KCS merger. The line from Kansas City would use the X-Sioux route via, not Marquette. Yes, Marquette. No. Yes? No. I want to go back and forth on this. Sabula, Iowa, and Savannah. And then whatever trains, would use the Norfolk Southern to Detroit already go through, or actually those probably use the IHB. Which, does go through quite a bit of downtown, so. We are fast approaching our stop here at Naperville. NIMBYs. I would assume just because people got sick of horns. It's the same reason West Chicago became one. And why Rochelle became one, and why really any place becomes one. But as for a specific reason, I couldn't tell you. We have a yellow over yellow, which means we are going to be switching tracks after our stop here at Naperville. I think after that one was killed by BN 9912, the horns must have been important to the public. Yes, you would. But people prefer quiet more than they prefer safety. God, that bell is way too loud. Good God. Freaking hear that and I don't know. Other places. No, Code Monkey, you're absolutely right. The train should just get out of the way. You know, I don't understand why they don't have trains operate on set paths. So that, you know, people know where they might encounter a train. Like, you know, people can't be expected to just avoid trains. They can appear out of anywhere, in any place. Like, it would just be nice if there was just, you know, you could cross some kind of marker or something that would say, hey, this is where there could possibly be a train. I don't know how you would go about implementing such a thing, but you know, in a perfect world, we'd have such a system. Good. Everyone's off. Next up, CUS. The reason specifically the conductor just said that everyone is off the train is that because Naperville is in Metro territory, the eastbound California Zephyr, Southwest Chief, and Illinois services only discharge at Naperville. You cannot get on at Naperville to go into Chicago on Amtrak. Which is pretty much the same anywhere Amtrak overlaps with commuter operations. All of the East Coast trains that use the Northeast Corridor are discharge only north of Washington, D.C. All of the trains, the Coast Starlight is discharge only south of Santa Barbara. And there are others I'm forgetting about, but yeah, anywhere Amtrak overlaps with any kind of commuter authority, they'll either be discharge or pickup only, depending on the location. Now crossed over to Track 2. And we have 27 3/4 miles to go to Union Station. Whoops. God dang it. Trains are able to swerve. Oh, and while we're at it, let's get some overtakes. Why not? Nothing could go wrong. Not a thing. Not one single thing. Silly to even think that it might. Instead of having to marshal trains together from hundreds of individual loads, make each its own vehicle plus driver to take it directly to a destination. Genius, Code Monkey. I can't believe nobody ever thought of that. It's such a simple and elegant solution. Just to be clear, Jessica, I love At the Rail Yard content, and I really hope he brings it back. But that has always bothered me that he pronounced Elgin with a hard G. And I have been thoroughly enjoying his new series on model train layouts for trains. We're now passing Lyle's station. It's like Carlisle without the car. Wasn't meant to add any kind of it would be revolutionary, except it costs more consumer entry and is pointless when lots of people cargo need to go to one place. Psah! Well, I guess if my car's going to be totaled, I would rather have it done by Amtrak, so. Match 3 seems to be holding us at a nice 69 miles an hour, which is awesome when the speed limit is 70. We pass under 355 there. Like that was 355. Oh no, that was Interstate 355. That's Interstate 355. Giggity. Ah, never mind. We're gonna need speed. We're now passing Belmont Station. Once at Belmont Station, not much more. 355 is usually pretty free-flowing, especially up at this end. But yeah, at Belmont Station, I once was able to catch a BNSF oil train that was led by 2 Ferromex units and a City Rail leasing unit. That was pretty cool. Honestly, Code Monkey, yeah. Especially as we get nearer to downtown Chicago, there's a few of those they should definitely do that with. Interesting. I hadn't seen anything about that, but quite possible. The bridge in my area got stuck under it. Got a truck stuck under it, carrying a load of hay bales. Yeah, that is the nice thing. Although usually for the height of rush hour, BNSF will stop running trains. But I don't think it's quite as bad as Union Pacific, where they basically have to shut down for 6 hours out of every day total for Metro rush hour. Which is something I think they're hoping to relieve when they finish triple tracking the Geneva sub. What is this? Westmont. It's the Westmont station. Oh dear. Wow, that's a lot of hay. You know, they should really put a sign on bridges so you know how tall they are, so you know if your truck could fit under it. I don't know why they don't do that. It seems it would save everybody a lot of time and money. They should really look into that kind of thing. Just get a cow to eat the hay. You might need more than one. We've got ourselves an overtake. Rick Rail on Twitter complaining about no metric signs. Ugh. And make him into Big Macs. There you go, Jessica. The Highlands Station. Anytime, anytime. Always down for some grass-fed Angus. Boy, this is a long boy. I will say the sounds on the Metro F40s aren't bad. There you go. Oh, you mean here in the States code, Monkey? I guess that makes sense. Mm-hmm. We're now passing over the Indiana Harbor Belt. See, you have to remember that that would cost money, and that's not something U.S. railroads are fond of spending, especially not on something like fences. Network Rails, or is it a... Shoot. Is it a private company, or is it owned by the UK government? Yeah, exactly. God forbid they should invest in their own physical plant. Okay. Then, yeah, they get all that government money. What else are you going to throw it at? Yeah, pretty much, Jessica. Although they are reducing their capital expenditure this year, but I think that's because they're winding down, or they've pretty much fully implemented positive train control, so a lot of money that was going for that is money they don't need to spend anymore. But I believe they still have the highest capital expenditure plan among the big U.S. railroads. Jeez, no shortage of freight today. Glasgow City Union Railway Company, who had like 1.5 million pounds of shares, several miles of track, and never ran a train. That's beautiful. Analogous to that is the Cincinnati subway system. They bored a bunch of the tunnels and then never put tracks in them. And so there's just this network of tunnels underneath the city of Cincinnati that just isn't used for anything. I believe one of them has a big 42-inch water main running through it, so... We're passing under the Canadian National... Oh, shoot. Crap. I can't remember what the name of that subdivision is. It's the former Illinois Central line out towards, Rockford, and Waterloo, Iowa. We are now passing BNSF Cicero Yard. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Wouldn't it just... Oh, shoot. What is the name of that line? The Freeport subdivision. It's the Freeport subdivision. I remembered. We're now passing under Interstate 294. That's pretty slick. I like that. Oh, definitely. 294 is one of those they should just place a bunch of static cars on. We're now passing underneath the Belt Railway of Chicago, which is also what the manifest we just passed was coming off of. You can now see the skyline of Chicago appearing in the distance. And if any of you tried to call it the Willis Tower, I will fight you. It is the Sears Tower. There you go. You may have noticed that the tracks are elevated above street level now, and I believe that is because we are actually within the city limits of Chicago. And there is an... or no. Yes. 110 floors. I've never actually been to the top of the Sears Tower. My mom is not a fan of heights, so. We're now passing under, I believe, the CTA Orange Line, one of the elevated subway lines in and around Chicago. Gem carpets. We're now passing over the Western Avenue corridor, which is owned jointly by CSX and Norfolk Southern. And we're now passing Main SF's Western Avenue Yard on the right. On the left is Union Pacific's Global One Yard, which was recently closed so that they could sell off the land for real estate. For the real estate money, I should say. I don't think BNSF means it. Oh, wait, no, I was wrong. I believe this up here is the orange line. I'm not sure what the other... You know what? I can check. Maps. So, Kedzie. Okay, so that was the one we crossed on a diagonal, or on the diagonal, was the pink line. Oh, and the other one we passed under was also the pink line. So it's all pink, no orange. I'm not sure for what. Jessica. And I doubt they'd want to pay whatever Union Pacific no doubt sold it for. I mean, it's land not far from downtown Chicago. They made a killing. We're now passing Halstead Street Station, which is the last station before we arrive at CUS. The coal train to our left is coming off of the St. Charles Airline, which connects over to the former Illinois Central, as well as to Union Pacific. Or not Union Pacific, Jesus. Norfolk Southern. Some kind of transfer, I guess. Yeah, that too. On the right is Metro's Western Avenue Yard, formerly of the Chicago, Burlington, and Quincy. We're now going around the Canal Street Y, which connects to the former New York Central. Or no, Pennsylvania. Yeah, Pennsylvania. Which used Union Station. Because I believe, actually, Amtrak's 14th Street coaching facility, which is on the right, is the former Pennsylvania Railroad facility. Yes, the Broadway Limited. So if you take any Amtrak train out of Chicago to the east, you will use that line. That includes the Capital Limited, Lakeshore Limited, Blue Water, Wolverine, Paramarquette, Cardinal. I think that's it. Brutal. Nice slow 10-mile-an-hour crawl into Chicago Union Station. Yes, like I said, Metro's Western Avenue Yard. The main staging ground for all Metro service out of Chicago Union Station, so that includes the BNSF line, Heritage Corridor, Southwest Service, Rock Island, I think that's it. It's also worth mentioning that we are coming into the south side of Union Station. The north side is home to the Milwaukee District West and North lines, as well as Amtrak's Empire Builder and Hiawatha service. And I thought there was one more metro line that operated out of the north side of Union Station. Maybe not. Yeah, that's pretty standard. CUS Dispatch. Amtrak Train 6, this is Dispatch. I'm having a problem with one of the signals in the station. You'll have to request permission, press tab to pass it. Yes, Chicago Union Station is in fact dispatched by Amtrak itself. It controls about 1.6 miles of line, I think, out to either end of the Canal Street Y, I think, is about where their control ends. It's always kind of fun to roll past 14th Street on a on any kind of train. See what random crap is in there. Sometimes you'll see some fun stuff like either stuff that's headed to like Beach Grove for servicing. So sometimes you'll see like an Amtrak F-59 or a Pacific Surfliner car. I think, if I remember right, I once saw Ocean View, which was Amtrak's last remaining dome liner, or dome coach, which was pretty cool. I did see a picture recently of Metrolink coaches in there. So all kinds of stuff crops up in 14th Street. It's pretty cool. Is it only even tracks on the south side? It is. So on the very far right is the... Yes, Dash 8 as a switcher. So this... Oh no, this is the connection that runs north to connect the north and south side. It was used for freight up until, I think, the 70s? If I remember correctly, I think Pennsylvania ran a transfer through there. Now it's pretty much just used to ferry Amtrak equipment back and forth to servicing at 14th Street. Yep. Transfer to the Milwaukee. We're going to be a little too long for the platform with the ACS 64s in the consist, so I'm just going to pull up as close as I can to the buffers. There we go. So those are the doors to the concourse. So when I used to take the train back and forth from Kalamazoo. Good, the train is empty. Now let's wait for the yard master to contact us. Bruh, they just freaking teleported everybody off that train. Jesus. When I used to take the train from Michigan, I would arrive, grab my bag, hop off, run through the door here, run up to the metro platforms, figure out which train was going the direction I needed, and run out onto the platform. Amtrak Coach Yard Master, good afternoon. Normally this train would be taken in wide before being serviced for the next departure. However, because of the ACS 64s, things will have to be a bit different this time. Start by backing the train into Amtrak Yard T10. The switches are already set. Yeah, normally this train would sit here for a lot longer. They have to unload all the passengers, unload all the baggage. I believe the station crew does a quick sweep of the train to, I guess, well, first make sure everybody's actually off. But I think also to do just a quick grab of, like, I think, like, the bed linens, maybe some trash. All that stuff. They were heated off. They really were. But obviously, the circular point to that was obviously nobody wants to sit here and wait for that to happen. So least of all me. So we're gonna sacrifice just a bit of realism for the sake of convenience. But again, yeah, if you wanted to have the realism, you absolutely could have the opportunity to sit there and wait. Actually, I think what would more likely to happen would be a yard crew would come in to back the train out. The road crew would probably get to head off for the day. Actually, the back of the train might be... Oh, not quite. Yeah, close enough. Not a huge fan of the sounds these coaches make, but it's alright. Is that Roosevelt Road? Yeah, it'd have to be. Oh yeah, because there's a sidewalk. Yeah, so this is Roosevelt Road. One of the more famous railfan locations of in Chicago, because it gives you an excellent excellent view of the mouth of Union Station, as you can kind of gather. I'd love to have an opportunity to spend the night in the Amtrak coach yard. Come on, who wouldn't? People who want to go home, that's who. Or, additionally, people who have another train to catch. Oh, yeah, no, it would definitely be cool. But I'm a person who would care. Most people aren't. No, yeah, see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that didn't get a chance to get off the train. Amtrak, blah, blah, blah. Good. Now drop the coaches and the baggage car here. Draw lifting bridge or modern art? Lifting bridge. Permanently raised, since, I guess, this stretch of track was abandoned. Let's see. Coaches and baggage car. Good. Now you can place the ACS 64 at Amtrak Yard T3, where staff will check them over before they're sent east. Pull out past the first set of crossovers after you exit the yard. You may have to set the switch by clicking the motor, the small gray box, after you've pulled out. You'll be able to press permission tab or control tab through any signals. So first set of crossovers after we leave the yard. So that would be that. No, that one. Into T3, which the switch is already set for. So we have to pull through that. I suppose we should observe the speed limit. Let's see. So that's the Sears Tower. That's the Chicago Trump Tower. Oh, there's the Hancock Center. That one right there. I don't... Yeah, I don't know offhand what any of the rest of these are. Anyway. One small loan of $1 million. Shit. Yes. I may be biased, but I think Chicago has one of the best skylines. Not necessarily, but I do really like the Chicago skyline. Alright, let's see. It's gonna swap for us. Doesn't look like it. Okay, we're lined for T3. Yeah, that's right, because they do this, and then they pull forward through CB lumber. Or 2 CB lumber. And then you can back in. I feel no shame that the pantograph is clipping through these light fixtures, because they wouldn't be if they were down like they should be. So. Great! With any luck, they'll be able to head east tonight. Last thing is to park the engines near the shed on Amtrak Yard R3 North. The switches will set automatically, so just follow that path. That's quite possible, Code Monkey. Unfortunately, I can't Lewis script, so... Honestly, I just wish with one version of TS, they just come out with a version that just has all the little nitpicky bugs fixed. You know what I mean? Like, just... like the pantograph thing. Other examples. Just stuff that people have been complaining about for years. Alright. Let's see. Pull forward a little bit. Set the switches we're going to set automatically. I don't believe it. Yeah, they're still backing us into... Oh, wait. Maybe? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Ooh. We're up to a whopping 15. We're not going to have an unmarked drop down to 10, though. Yep. Figured it would be at that switch. Skull vehicle numbers. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bring her gently to a stop. Great job. You guys can go ahead and take a break. Scenario complete. So that was City Sprinter delivery for the racetrack route. That is going to do it for this week. Next week is Fridays in the Valley. Nah, you're a spad. Yes. So, Fridays in the Valley. I double checked the calendar because I wasn't sure, but next week is the 25th, so that will be the final Friday of this month. So, Fridays in the Valley. Other than that, everything you see here can be played on Steam Workshop. Link is in the usual places. Sure thing, Code Monkey. I will let you know. Link is in the usual places. Be sure to like the Facebook page. I use it. Sometimes I don't, but usually I do. YouTube. I'm gonna work on updating that tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. Gonna work on getting the YouTube up to date tomorrow. Probably, hopefully, maybe. I make no commitments. Part 3 of the big one is coming. I promise. I haven't been super motivated to work on it. It is done. I just need to, screenshots, that sort of thing. I just need to find it within myself to want to do that. So, hopefully tomorrow or Sunday, that'll be up. Yes. But other than that, thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye.